Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to another round of NazTalk every Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have a soulful, down-to-earth, very intuitive individual that will be coming on tonight on NazTalk. And he's very down to earth. He has 20 years of, hey, Motoko man, what's up? He has 20 years of experience in building relationships and empowering people to communicate more effectively. He's an expert group facilitator. He's a conflict mediator. He's a restorative justice specialist. And he also makes children's music. That's like a plus, right? I love that. And he is all about the power of good conversation, and he posts a question a day or a series of questions a day, which is posted up on Instagram and TikTok, as he is a video creator content as well, where it really pushes people's limits to think about themselves. And a lot of his questions is revolving about relationship and self-love and how to communicate effectively to other people, that regards to if it's your family, your children, your spouses, even your coworkers. And he is really down to earth. He's awesome. He's amazing. And I'm so excited and so honored to be interviewing him tonight. So right now we're just gonna, hey Botogo man, how you doing? How are you doing? You're like on point today. Hold on. Today, and our special guest is Howard, Robert Howard, Mr. Howard, as he goes by all through on his social media. Hi. Hold on, you guys. Hey! How I am just... We have a special guest, you guys. Mr. Howard. I'm just going to pin this. I'm finally learning how to do this. Oh, there we go. Please, Howard, aka the man on the streets, aka the questionnaire. Hey!
What up? What up?
How you doing?
Good. It's a happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm okay. I'm just finally could breathe today.
That's what's up.
That's it. I just gave a bit of an intro of introducing who you are. You are a man who have over 20 years on your belt with when it comes to communication and conflict mediator, and your list is endless of the experience you have of how you work with people, especially how to communicate with people and teach them how to communicate effectively.
Yeah, that's the thing. Thank you for the warm introduction.
No problem. And I was just bringing up with your Instagram videos, your Instagram and TikTok videos, where you have a series of a question a day or a series of questions to really question ourselves. And so what made you start that on the social media platform?
Mm. I've been trying to do social media, uh, more YouTube than anything. I love YouTube. It's my favorite social media app. And the people that I watch, I was like, oh, I want to do that too. And I kind of studied social media for a minute, like a couple years. And I tried on my YouTube a couple times. And then when Instagram first allowed video, it was like 30-second videos. I was like, I'm gonna try it there. And I tried it before, it didn't really go nowhere. And I had no followers. I didn't really know what I was doing yet. But I was telling a lot of my friends about, I had heard from really nice experts that TikTok is this thing you should get on. And it's not too late,
It's true.
but it
It's
will
true.
allow people who don't know you personally, that are not your friends, didn't go to school with you, don't even live in your city, to find you. So y'all should get on there. They sing, they rap, they make beats, they draw, um, paint.
Mm-hmm.
One of my homies was a painter. I was like, you should make content for that. to raise awareness about what you do and maybe grow your audience. And one of
Right.
my partners, who's an amazing singer, was like, you should do it. I was like, I don't know what I would do. He's like, why don't you just do what you do at the trainings that we just left? And I was like, I think you have something, sir. So that's what
And
happened.
it exploded. I mean, I noticed,
It's
I think
exploding.
your video popped up on my For You page, I think a few months ago. A few
Mm.
months ago. I think it was February, January. I can't remember. But I know that when I went on it, I was like, hold up, who's this guy?
That's the beauty of
And
TikTok.
yes, it is. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And that was around the time when I started my NazTalk. So I was like, hold on, what's this guy? Let me check this. I'm like, let's check this out. I'm like, and then I'm like, on top of it, yes, you guys, I'm saying this. On top of it, I was like, ooh, he is fine too. Okay, let me go on his page. Let me check him out. Let's see what's up.
I will
Let's see
take
what.
that from you. Thank you.
No problem. So I like the idea with the question a day because it really like. Uh-oh, sorry, Don.
I don't like it. That's hilarious. It don't mean nothing, Don.
Sorry.
It's all innocent.
It's okay. It's all love for everybody. It's all love. Listen, so I went on it and your video, the question a day really got me thinking. So, and usually I was like, when I see your video, it's in the morning. I saw your video that you posted the day before.
That's what happens. It's the morning
Yeah,
usually.
this is it. So I'm checking it and I'm like, okay, let me think about it. I think one of them was I think one of them was like, are you happy? Like, do you feel happy with yourself?
Hmm.
And I was like, so the whole day at work, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
what does
that's
he
the
mean
power of
by
a good
that?
question. A
Right?
good question.
It got me thinking the whole day. And I was like, that's a really good question to really think about, like reflect on your life and whatnot. And I'm guessing this is all from experience as well
Yeah,
for
all the
you.
questions are in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
When I started January 9th, I had a bunch in my head, and I was like, well, where do I want to start? What do I want to happen? And I'm not freestyling, but I'm playing a strategic game. Like some of the questions
Mm-hmm.
are fun and light and flirty, or conversation starters like ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream? Where would you go if you had two free tickets, and who would you take? If you could have a super, those are like questions when you hear it. It's easy to answer. Maybe it brings a smile to your face,
Right,
but it
right.
doesn't really bring a lot of pause, right? But it's also not deep.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other ones that it's like, I think last week I asked a very serious question, which was like,
Mm-hmm.
what has someone else's death taught you about life? Like a question like that, you don't just have your answer ready. It's not like ice
Oh
cream,
my God.
right? It's like,
That's a
well,
good question.
who am I thinking about that past, and what lesson did I learn? Did I learn? Like, there's questions in the question.
Right,
Um, so I'm playing light and I'm playing heavy. I'm playing fun. I'm playing easy connections. I'm playing reveal, pull back the layers a little bit.
right. There's even the set of questions that you posted was about the dating, and you went
Mhm.
A or B. A or B. I think I did a duet to it, and I was like, hold up, I can't pick A or B. I have to pick some of them. A lot of them was like both, both,
Yes, that is actually
both.
why I play it that way. So
Mm-hmm.
A or B is a game that everyone can play. But in my
Right.
work, what matters more than the activity, what matters more than the moment is the discussion about the activity, the discussion, the debrief. So what I do
Mm-hmm.
with forced choices is it's setting up for conversation. Some of them
Right.
are very vague. Some of them are very hard to choose. You want both. You want both respect and understanding. You
Mm-hmm.
want both of those things. But the question is designed. You have to pick one. Don't say neither. Don't say both. And then it allows for us to be able to share. Well, what came to mind? This last one I put up, I think people are
Mm-hmm.
struggling with. It's like good guy or bad boy, hot girl or good girl. Well, you could be
Right.
both, right? Or you could like both. But the way the question is formed is like vague. So, do I think I am, or do people think that I am, or do I like, or do I mostly attract? Are all things in your answer that will
It's
come
true.
out in the debrief. But
You know,
that's what it's
you're
for.
right. That's a good question though. It's like, because for me, like automatically, if I was in high school, bad boy,
Hmm.
like 100%. Now,
Grown?
You've learned.
A good boy, exactly. Because you
You've
realize
learned.
you want stability. You don't want somebody who's going to be like, okay, I'm a bad boy, ride my motorcycle off in the distance, and then you never come back, right? It's like,
And there's also room in that discussion, like, well, what do you think a bad boy is? What makes a bad boy a bad boy? What makes a good guy a good guy? Can a guy on a motorcycle be a good guy? Could be in the debrief of the question, right? But that's why it's a good conversation
oh
because
my
we can
God,
talk about all those things.
this is really getting me to think.
Hmm.
Now it's like every time I go on a date, I'll be thinking, I'm like,
Yeah, because we
you
all have
good
these
for me or
perceptions.
not?
If I walk down the street and I see
Yeah.
somebody for the first time and we have a conversation, my perception of them, my biases of who I think they are based on what I've learned and what I've seen and what I've experienced and what I've heard,
Right.
I might put you in a box. Like when someone pops on the screen, they don't know me. They see glasses, they see Laker hat, LA stuff, chain, I have tattoos, but they don't know me. But what they think about me is just what they think about me here. But then as we uncover by talking and sharing, like,
Hmm.
oh, maybe he's not just that. Maybe he's a little bit something else. And we all have that.
That's true. Wow. Okay, so question. Who inspired you to go into this field?
Mm,
To, like you said, 20 years. How did you
yeah.
get into this career?
Okay, that's a good question. Um,
Mhm.
not a person, moments. I'm an only child. My parents, my mom was 40 years older than me, and my father was 55 years older than me. So, as an only child, I'm
Mhm.
trying to entertain myself with my imagination, my creativity, my toys, but also engaging in conversations. But my parents were older, really older, like grandparent older than most of my friends, and they didn't want to answer certain questions. And I'm like, wow. So, as an inquisitive, unanswered child, I have always been like, are we there yet? What's this? Why that? Are you sure? How do you know? Like, I've been a curious kid. And then to get into the work,
Mhm.
I majored in college in Africana studies, like the idea of how people from the
Wow.
continent of Africa have spread
Mhm.
throughout the world and taken all their stuff, their melanin, their drums, their art, their spices, their curves, their kinky hair, all the stuff that Black people have done, and all
Yeah.
the vehicles that moved them from Africa to all these other places. Um,
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't know what to do with this career. I was pursuing music. One of my best friends was one of the most talented people I knew and had ever seen. And I was like, I want to do music with you, buddy. And I thought that was the path. But to pay bills and to buy studio time and put gas in the car, I would facilitate at this nonprofit because somebody told me that, hey, you might be really good at this, that degree. We have this thing over here where we take kids from all these different cultures and we get them to know each other better. And I think you would be great. And I was like, I don't know nothing about that. Let's try it. And I found that I loved it. I love working with kids. I love working with people. I love helping people get to see and work together and understand each other better.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how it happened, but I'm just a natural, like, I wonder how this works. I wonder what happens if this.
Wow. I like how you answered it wasn't a person, but it was through moments. So,
Hmm.
and it makes sense because that's amazing though how one path, one moment in your life went to another to get to where you are today, where you're probably, coaching and doing this for, I don't know, hundreds of different organizations, I'm assuming.
In my career, I would say, yeah. Groups of people, organizations, schools, after school programs, now companies, corporate, around race, identity, and culture. I help people talk about that. Because even if we had, like, I did a thing over Zoom during the pandemic
Hmm.
for global employees of a company that identified as Black or African. There's so
Okay.
much diversity there, right? Like, just because you're Black from where I'm from don't mean we're even the same. We could be from the same block, but our Blackness might be different. Our experience in our Black bodies might be different because there's
Hmm.
diversity. We're not a monolith. No people are. So
That's true.
all that fun stuff comes up.
Hmm. That's amazing. I mean, do you have a favorite moment in one of
Mm.
your training sessions that you did that really touched you?
I think the touching moments come in the debriefs where people go, hey man, you challenged me. I didn't like it. I didn't like you. I was ready to go, but bruh, you changed my life. Like I parent different, or I'm a husband that's different, or I'm a wife in a different way now because the way that you set that up, or the way that we spoke about it, or the activity and the conversation with the other people in the room, it
Hmm.
shifted the way I thought, and that changed the way I move. And I was like, those things are moments. But I've also like mediated conflicts where people want to like literally kill each other, like gang stuff or like violent on violent retaliation kind of stuff. And it was like,
What?
what? And seeing that happen is, I
Hmm.
guess, probably one of the best things that can happen.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm guessing that you also do conflict mediation for what is it? Parents, divorced
Hmm.
parents, I guess, or going through the process of
That's happened
divorce.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. How does that? How do you handle that with the parents like going at each other and especially about the or I guess do you just have do you just work with the parents before you work with the children or
It just depends on
have
what
them
the conflict
together?
is. Yeah,
It depends on that.
it
Okay.
depends on the kids. It depends on the
Hmm.
situation. It depends on the parents. Not every conflict is going to be resolved in one conversation, one circle.
Of course.
But
Hmm.
what I find is the tools to dismantle conflict work, but it's not a magical bullet. It's not a magical wand. The people still are the people, and they have to go through their process. It might take time.
Hmm.
It might take multiple iterations. It might take some counseling. It might take another facilitator to come behind and water the seeds
Oh
that I planted.
wow.
Like
Hmm.
there's different things, but um, I will say this:
Okay.
the easier the conflict seems, the harder it is to resolve because there's not enough pain. One of the things that helps people get out of a conflict is both people are suffering and they're tired of this bullcrap. Like, I don't want to be in this no more. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to do this to you. I need you to
Hmm.
stop and I want to stop, but I don't know how to stop it. Like, the worse it is, the
Right.
easier it is to actually solve it.
Right. Oh wow. What is the best uh maybe the best top three tips to use for a situation in a workplace if you're having a bit of a disagreement or not able to um work well with a coworker?
Yeah. I think tip number one is you can't control what anybody else is doing or does. You can't control anybody.
Sure.
And sometimes people want to grab for a mediator to stop them from doing a thing. But as I've learned in my profession, the best thing I can do is to help you in the thing that you're in, how you can show it better, how you can like
Hmm.
change climate,
Right.
change the way you show up, change the way they see you. Like those type of tips is
Right.
number one. Number two, I think a practical tip that anyone who's listening to this can take from it is um,
Hmm.
every conflict is based on harm. So there's a practice called restorative justice that I adore you too. I am a trainer in, I am respected and paid to do restorative justice work. I didn't invent it,
Hmm.
but it's a phenomenal philosophy. And there are three principles that I think that anyone can pick up. One
Okay.
is harms, needs, and obligations. Who's been harmed how? Traditional justice, laws, and court says,
Hmm.
the book says this. So, who committed what crime,
Hmm.
right? Who did it? What crime did they commit? And what does the book say that they deserve? And that doesn't really get to resolution because if you keep threatening me with punishment, well, I'm probably going to defend myself. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. It's your fault. Excuse this. Da, 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 da. Because
Exactly.
the more honorable I am, the worse it's going to be for me. Right? That's stupid.
Okay.
Right? But if we're
Hmm.
focusing on harms, needs, and obligations instead of who did what crime and what does the book say, if we focus on
Hmm.
harms, then harms like it's a glass. If I
Yep.
drop the glass, who's
Right.
been harmed? Well, probably the person whose cup is now missing.
Hmm.
Okay, well,
Right.
what do they need? Do they need an apology? I don't know. Maybe they should tell me. The book cannot tell us what that person needs. They can give us an idea, but they should be
Hmm.
asked what that person needs because I don't know what this meant to them. So they should tell us the story about what is this and what, how does it feel and how did you find out and all this stuff, the harm.
Right.
But also, when I broke this, I harmed me. Like, if you ever did anything bad, it kind of messes with you a little bit too. Maybe not the same as a person who's lost their thing, but it
Right.
kind of messes with you too. It also can mess with how you feel around that person. So those are harms too. What do they need? What do you need? What do we all need? And then lastly, who's obligated or responsible to meet those needs? So harms, needs, and the last one, obligations. Well, if I broke it, I'm probably supposed to be responsible for fixing it or replacing it or apologizing.
Okay.
The work of the mediator is to help them be able to take that responsibility and to figure out, even if you can afford it, because this is not a regular glass, this is a priceless heirloom that their great great grandmother handed down. So you can't fix this with a check,
No.
right? But we all have to understand that this is a priceless thing. And does that mean that you'll never forgive or that you'll never be okay and you'll always be messed up? Or is there something else that you need? What do you need? Maybe it's me to go away and give you space, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's to be able to listen to the pain that I caused. So that's the tips: harms, needs, obligations.
Wow. I never looked at it that way. Usually it's it's like usually I'm the type of person when someone is mad at me. My thing is, okay, what is the problem? What did I do wrong? And what can we do to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, I don't look at it like you, I don't want to tell, I don't like telling people you're the problem because I find that just adds to it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I just want to solve it and then we can get back to work. Because, I work in the hospital. So I'm like, that way the patients can get their care. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want
There's,
conflict.
there's nothing wrong with those questions. Those questions are solid. Those are smart questions. But I promise you, if you start looking at it with part one, like just looking at
Hmm.
who's been harmed, how, you can see a
Okay.
whole lot of people are harmed in the hospital in that moment that you're trying to solve the problem. And now,
Okay.
from looking at it from who's been harmed and asking how are they harmed, you can go, what do they
Right.
need in a different way?
Okay. I'm definitely going to try this at work. I'm going to see how this goes.
Hmm.
See,
If
and,
you if you
and
if you take a story on page three of a conflict, it looks
right.
like this person's the victim. This person is the victim. But if you
Always. It's
listen to the
always one
story
victim and one instigator. That's usually
and
how
if
it
you
is.
step the story back, if you pull back a little bit, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see there's more than one victim. And actually, the person that is the victim here actually might have been the person that victimized someone somewhere else, or they were already a
Mm.
victim. And like it's now it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, so you just ran into a space where you thought this was the problem, but you didn't see it big enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it. I never looked at it that from that perspective. It's like, okay, you're pretty much saying step out, like you are. What is it? You're on the outside looking in,
Hmm.
and then look at it as a whole instead of breaking it up and say, well, they said this and they said that.
That's too short of a story. That's one page of a longer story.
I know,
How
it's
did we
true.
get here?
It.
The question of how did we get here is a really
Mhm.
good question. What happened? Today
That's
I
a
heard
really good
this.
question.
Today I see you crying. I see you mad. I see you, whatever. How did we get,
Hmm.
what happened to get us here?
I love that. It definitely makes you think about situations because I know there I used to be a person of avoiding conflict or avoiding confrontation. Like that was my one thing. Like if I see a conflict, you don't see me there. I left
Hmm.
because I don't want to be involved. Now I can handle it a lot better, but I guess it's a lot of patience. Especially having a 10-year-old where him and his friends, they're fighting like every 5 seconds. One minute they're friends, next minute they're enemies. Like I'm like, what is going on with you two? I can't handle you two. You guys are gonna be headaches, you
Hmm.
know? And and also with work, there's grown folks are having arguments and bickering as children, which doesn't make any sense to me half the
Yeah.
time. And your tips will definitely help. What are other advices for um, what is it? No, what are your tips for relationships?
Hmm.
Anybody who's entering into a relationship, they're starting to date. They want to be impressive with their partner, whoever they're dating, but maybe what do they call it? But they self-sabotage themselves.
Hmm. That's a good mental picture. Well, I'll
Hmm.
start with this. I'm not a relationship expert. I don't know everything about relationships. I just know what I know, and I've lived what I've lived, and I believe what I believe. And all those
Hmm.
things can be proven to be stupid and wrong by a new idea that comes tomorrow. But if I'm answering your question, it sounds like a person desires love, but they're getting in their own way. And that could happen in so many different ways in someone's life. Like, I want to do this thing, I have this dream, but I keep sabotaging. Or I want to do better, I want a promotion, but I keep messing up. Like that self-sabotage thing is in other places of life, but in a
Hmm.
relationship, um, I believe in therapy. I believe in the ability for some neutral person to be
Hmm.
able to go, tell me about this. Or it sounds like this. What do you think about that?
Hmm.
Their skill sets to be able to say, and then also you might want to work on this. Maybe you work on this in a relationship because that's what a relationship is.
Right.
One of my early memories of a barbershop conversation about dating and girls and what kind of girl you should like and all that stuff. It was like one of the barbers was in there. He said, "Hey man, if you're looking for a perfect girl,
Oh.
you'll never find a perfect girl. And if you're waiting until you're perfect for that girl, you'll never be ready. Actually, what you should be looking for, I want to say I was in high school. He was like, you should be looking for a woman who has the issues that makes you want to work with them. Find the person who has the issues you want to deal with. So the good way outweighs the bad. And also for yourself, you want to minimize the harm that you're causing in a relationship, but
Right.
also learn how to make it right. Like when you're in that relationship and you self sabotage and you hurt that person's feeling or you triggered them with your stuff, it
Hmm.
wasn't intentional. You're learning. We learn from our conflicts. Conflict is actually a good lesson teacher if you let it. But
Yeah.
when you are making your mistakes, learn from it and grow from them. But there's a way to turn to each other and get closer if you if it's the right harm, the right person, and you have the right tools.
That's well put. I like how you did a mental picture for that. That's
It's
very well put.
hard though. It's really hard
It
in a
is. It
relationship
is.
because we trigger each other. We trigger each other. Um, and I hate the word triggering, but I look at it like this: like if I had an irritation or a wound, and it just looks like I'm healthy, but there's actually an injury under my shirt. You don't know it's there. If you bump into me, or you grab me, or you're playing, you have good intention,
Right.
right? You want to hug me and give me love. Boy, you touch where I'm already wounded or raw or
Right.
sore or sensitive, that
Hmm.
hurts me. And you hurting me makes me feel and makes me think of you a certain way. And my flinch reaction might actually make you feel scared because I said, hey, and you're like, I don't like when men do that. And it's like, well, hold on, and now and we're getting further and further and further away from each other,
Right. Because
right?
it's not going back to the root of, wait, but why though? Are you okay? What happened to you? Like you're right. It goes down to communication. You have
Hmm.
to be able to what is it? Communicate your feelings or whatnot, which is harder than it looks. I'm going to tell this to everybody. It is harder than it looks
It is.
because there's times that you just want to avoid the situation and you think it's better to stay quiet and don't say nothing
Hmm.
and just kind of breeze through the day. But
I don't think you
I
need to say everything. I think there's certain things that
no,
you're like, yeah, that wasn't important. That wasn't a serious situation enough for me to talk about it. I needed to
right,
talk to my other people, or my counselor, my therapist, my God, my journal, whoever, to get
right.
it off my chest, but also let it go and move forward because it's not that big of a deal. But there's other things that are actually things you should share, and it's up to you to figure out what those things are.
I'm guessing that do you need to be um, how much is too much when you're talking to someone though with when it comes to communication because like me like I'm saying like me or you or somebody
Good
else
question.
we could be you can meet someone and you could be like for example you and I would meet and then I just met you but all of a sudden you're telling me about your life what you do how you are and you're very comfortable being open and then I'll be
Mm,
and there's someone who's not comfortable being open and they'll
yeah,
stay. What do you do in that
that
situation?
could be a good relationship for some people. I'll say this, right. So
That's true.
if this is a cup, I don't know how many ounces this could hold, but this bottle,
Okay.
Young Avion, not terrible water, It says 25.3 fluid ounces.
Hmm.
I drink a lot. This has the capacity to hold this, right? Like I could pour this water here and it could hold it.
Right.
But another cup might be too small. A shot glass for sure can't hold 23.
Oh,
It's
no,
at its
for sure.
limit, right?
Hmm.
So what we're trying to do is figure out how can we increase the capacity that we can hold, and that comes through relationship. I can hold a little bit more. But if in the relationship we're taking shots, now it can't hold it because there's cracks and there's holes and they haven't been repaired. There hasn't been enough healing. There's not the safety feeling that we need that we got in the beginning to turn and fall in love. There's so much
Right.
here that even if it
Hmm.
did have the capacity, it's not holding it well. So that's the analogy that comes to mind when I hear that. In a
Okay.
relationship, you do run into people who might not have the same capacity. They don't share as much. They don't listen as well. They don't um, care about the thing that you're talking about as much. Like what? I don't
I
care about
know. Or
Marvel
what they call
superhero
it,
movies.
they call it like what is it? Selective
Selective
memory?
hearing. Yeah,
Selective hearing. There you go.
yeah.
Hmm.
So like they might not care, and that might not be your person to talk to about those things. They don't have to be all the things.
Right.
They're not all the things. You should have other people for the other things, like friends, and colleagues, or go to
It's true.
conventions where you could talk about the Marvel superhero movies and Batman and all that fun stuff.
Yes. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But you have to know it's true, though. It's true. I think it's difficult because there's some people that you try, no matter what you do, any situation, you see them all the time. You try to get them to open up somehow. You try
But
different
why?
approaches.
But why? You
I
can't
don't
make someone
know.
open up. You
I
can't make
know it's
anyone
true.
open up.
I know it's true. It's true. I think that's the thing is with me, I'm an extrovert. There's times I'm an introvert, but
Yeah.
there's also times that when I see someone who doesn't open up at work and they're very quiet and they keep to themselves, I'll leave them be. But after a while, I'll try to like, good morning, how you doing? You good?
Hmm.
What's new with you?
That person need. I promise you,
Yeah.
every introvert, every quiet person has something they won't be so introverted about, or with a person or a place where they won't be. But what's
Right.
needed is to feel comfortable, to feel like it's worth it, to feel like they want to, right?
It's true.
So for that turtle
Hmm.
to come out, peek their head out the shell, they got to feel safe, they got to feel comfortable, they got to feel inspired. If I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to talk to you, it's because I
Hmm.
don't want to talk to you. Maybe there's somebody else that I do want to talk to
Right.
about that kind of stuff.
It's true. That's really true. Thank you. I appreciate the tips and advice regarding about this because not only me, I think anybody here who will probably have the same when it comes to coworkers or spouses or even kids, your own
Hmm.
kids, how to deal with different situations and whatnot. Let's get more into the your music. You make children's music.
Yeah,
What kind of children's music do you make?
good, really good children's music. So the first character's name is Little Sleepy. It's a little black boy with locks who has a dream to be a singer one day. And Mr. Howard, as a teacher in this school, this elementary school, is like, you don't have to wait till you're older to sing. You can make songs on your phone and we can record in the classroom and you can put it out on the internet and people can hear you sing, right? You don't have to wait to be a grown up. You can do it now. So the
Hmm.
idea of that is that Little Sleepy sings R&B lullabies that it's kind of like sleepy time, chill out, about to go to bed, turn down, like not to turn up stuff. That's another
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Another kid's coming. A second character is coming that is more turn up. But there's a I think a need for more options. I love Usher. I love Prince. I love Michael Jackson. I love Marvin Gaye. I like Chris Brown. I like uh, who else do I like? I like Young Thug. I like Future. There's a lot of choices. But with kids' music, if you got kids in your life and you're like, I don't really want to play those songs about sex and love and breaking up in the bedroom and all this stuff around little kids, I don't want them listening to that over and over and over again. You don't got a lot
Nope.
of choice. You got Coco Melon, you got Barney, you got Baby
You
Shark,
got Elmo. You
you
got
got
Elmo singing
Elmo.
about, yeah, Elmo singing about brushing his teeth.
Not enough choices.
Not enough
And
choices. True.
the brush the teeth song is really good for the brush the teeth time. But that ain't got nothing to do with go to bed time. Like I want a bomb song for riding in
Oh
the
yeah,
car
it's
in the
true.
evening, right? I want a good song in the morning. I want a song
Mhm.
about the alphabet that makes me want to sing the alphabet. I want a song, but you don't have a lot of choices. You have a playlist in your phone now where you are the DJ from generations of music, from Ray Charles to James Brown and Aretha Franklin to all the new artists and unsigned internet artists that no one knows about but you.
Mhm.
We need other choices like that in kids' music. So I want to provide that, and I want it to sound good. I don't want to hear grown-ups grabbing little kids and just having them sing grown-up lyrics. That doesn't work to me. You know, shout out to that company that's a super millionaire company. I think that's trash. I don't want to hear 5-year-olds singing Rihanna. I want to hear Rihanna sing Rihanna. But I do want to hear maybe
It's
kids
true.
singing something that's kid appropriate. I do want to hear maybe other voices singing things that parents can sing to their kids and their kids can sing to the parents. Like I want those moments because that is one of the most beautiful times in a person's development is that family time. So we need better music.
You know what? It's true, and it's funny you say that because a lot of the
Thank
music
you.
that is out right now. Even when my son was younger, I used this. I used the beat, and I just made up
Hmm.
my own words. So this
Certain
is
people
how
know what
I.
we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys know, right? Like you're like, yeah. So, or I made up my own. I had the song that I sang to my son when he was younger, and when he was a baby, up until when he was. There's times he'll ask, like, even though he's 10, he'll say, "Okay, mom, can you like sing that song that you used to sing to me when I was a kid?" And I'm like,
That's
"No,
an
but you're
African
10."
tradition. No, that's an
It
African
is.
tradition.
It is. And so there's because I'm Somali, I'm East African. So we have the
Hmm.
Somali lullaby that we sing, and he loves it when I sing it. And then, but it's funny though because in Somali it translates as go to sleep.
Hmm.
Mom is here, go to sleep. And then you switch it on and it goes go to sleep. And it goes grandma's here, go to
Hmm.
sleep. But in Somali though, it goes hoa ya hoa hoa ho yo mekjokto means mom's not here, but grandma's here.
Hmm. Yeah.
Kaliakofo ade, and then you keep singing it, and it's funny because I remember my mom singing that to me as a child, and then
Mm.
I would sing it to my siblings, my younger siblings, and then now we're singing it to, you know,
But
and
that's
people,
culture. That's
it
family.
is
That's
culture.
tradition. But there's also an
Hmm.
element in the African tradition of singing songs or everyone has their own song. If you
Hmm.
sang to a child their song and it came from other people that sang it to you, there's something powerful about music that nothing else can do. When I'm
True.
angry, when I'm
Hmm.
scared, when I'm anxious, that song has a power. But also when I'm not acting like my damn self.
Hmm.
The
It's
people who
true.
can sing that song to remind me of who I come from and who I am,
Hmm.
don't matter if I'm 10, don't matter if I'm 1, don't matter if I'm 40. That song has a power that nothing else has.
It's true. You know what? Not, I never looked at it that way. It's funny, growing up, I know everybody felt this way.
Hmm.
Um, growing up, growing in a Somali household, going to a Western school, bringing my Somali food to a Western school where everybody has white sandwiches,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
white
white bread.
sandwiches,
Yep.
white bread, juice box. Me, I'm coming in with like rice, chicken, raisins,
Yeah.
and then they're all looking at me like, I'm going, I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat what you're eating. That stuff is like for. I don't even know how you guys got strength from eating that
Hmm.
food.
Hmm.
And it's funny because when you're a kid, you're embarrassed. You
Yeah,
don't want
because you're
to, you don't
different.
want to, you're different. This is it. But it's funny though, because that's when you're a kid. And then when you're getting older, you're like, I got this. And it's funny because my son, he's 10. Him knowing that he's mixed. So he's French Canadian and he's Somali.
It's
And
beautiful.
he tells everybody, I'm East African. And everyone's like, oh. And they're like, oh, what do you do? Like, do you have this? Like, you wear this outfit? He's like, yeah, I do. What you got? I was like,
Right.
I'm looking at him like, oh, I'm sorry. Who are you? I was
He's
embarrassed.
he's your child. He gets to
Right. And
stand on
he's
your
so
shoulders.
proud.
Yeah,
He's so proud to show off his culture. He's so proud to show his food. He's like, yeah, this is really good. You guys should taste it. And he's like, it's going to make you bigger and stronger, you know? And they're like, really? So they're
because it's
eating it
good for
too.
you and it's healthy and it tastes good and right. But he's marketing. He's like, I got an idea. I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna teach you about this thing. Just like a good song, right? If you
Yeah.
heard a good song today, you would tell someone. If
Yes.
you saw a good sale, you would tell somebody. If you went to the movie
It's
and it was a
true.
bomb, you would tell somebody. And he's like,
It's
I'm
true.
not gonna keep this secret. I'm about to tell all the homies at school. They finna love that food.
Exactly. It's him and all of them. They're all like, "Yo, did you hear about that movie? Oh my God, the movie was awesome! Yeah!"
Yeah.
Or the latest song, and I'm going, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Mom, so a kid was playing Little Nas." I'm like, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah, maybe not
no!"
maybe not the 10-year-old. No, not the 10-year-old.
I was like, "How? No, because some kids have they're allowed, right? And the thing is, YouTube is not really filtered, right? So
And
there's
neither,
music
neither is the
everywhere.
internet.
Yeah, it's true. It's fair. I mean, these kids are like clever because if they can't spell out the word, did you know that Google search has a
You could talk
microphone?
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
I
know
want to
that.
watch what?
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
My
I
son was
didn't know.
born the year the iPhone came out. So he's not the greatest speller, but he can get on the internet. Siri, give me the hey, he don't gotta know
I'm
all the math
sorry.
problems. Just type.
I know. No, that pissed me off. I said, "Hold up, child. You're supposed to be work doing the problem." He's like, "Yeah, I know, Mom. I just told Google, and Google told me and gave me the answer." I was like, "What in the heck?
First of
No."
all, you just mad like I'm mad. I came from, hey mom, how do you spell? And she's like, look it up in a big ass
Thank you. That's
dictionary,
exactly. Yes, you got to look at
right?
the dictionary. If
So
you
let me tell
don't,
you about
suck
your
it up.
trauma. Let me tell you about your trauma, beloved. You went through some things, and you like, you ever you hear the stories of like, I hiked up the mountain in the snow to get to school both
Yeah,
ways.
right.
That's your version of that. They don't gotta hike up in the mountains. It's not even snowing.
No.
Yeah.
Here's an example. Here's an example. Okay. He got a phone. Okay. He got a phone. And he was like, "Oh my God, Mom, this is so awesome." I was like, "That's great. Fantastic, right? I'm glad you're gonna enjoy it." But I'm like, "But it's only for emergencies, right?" And he's like, "I have a question, Mom. One thing that did not make any sense to me." I'm like, "Okay, go ahead. What's your question?" He's like, "If I'm getting a cell phone at 10 years old, how did you survive when you were 10 years old?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, I said, "I had a bag of quarters." He's like, "What? For what?" I said, "For payphones." He's like, "What? You use payphones? Why?" Like,
Yeah,
why?
I had to explain the internet to my son. Like the internet made noise to get on when I started getting on the internet. It was a
Yep.
very noisy process. He was like, "What?"
It's like
Yeah,
death. They're like, he's like, "But
the internet's
that would be
quiet. It's
so
everywhere. I
hard."
said, "No, you had to get on the internet, and it was loud.
It was loud and it was on dial up. So if somebody called the house, you're screwed.
It
It's
was over.
finished.
Yeah,
Everything cut and you got to start over again.
start over."
This is the process, and people don't like with this one. He didn't realize when I showed him the Walkman or the DVD player. I
Yeah,
showed him the VHS. He's like, "Why is it so chunky?" I
yeah.
said, "Because this is the video." And he's like, "Well, can I skip?" I said, "Well, you gotta forward it. You gotta kind of estimate where you gotta go." And he's
Hmm.
like, "I have to estimate it." He's like, "Mom, I could just forward it. I could do the little touch the
You
screen
just
and do
drag
this, and
it.
it'll show me which one it is, and I know." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's your generation. My
Hmm.
generation wasn't like this. We
You
had to
can't be
work
mad. You
hard."
can't get mad at him for living in a
I know.
world where somebody's grandparents had lanterns. Like, turn on
Oh
that
yeah,
light and
true.
then hold the lantern, right? And then someone was
I
like, no,
remember.
you just flick the switch to turn the light on.
You just turn
And
on the
now
light. That's it.
and now we're like, I have an app to turn on lights. To turn like, who knows what the
And
future?
just
It might just be like, hold on, I'm gonna think it. Okay, it's on. Like, but we can't get mad at the other people having better stuff than us.
exactly. And this is where I'm looking at them. I'm like, I can't. Just it made my whole day when he said you had to carry a bag of quarters.
Mhm.
Why? That just made my whole
I'm gonna give
day.
you this joke that I think you should try with your kid. Um,
Okay, I'm listening.
if you ask a child from that generation, um, using your hand like a phone, show me,
Oh yes,
right,
I
like that,
did.
show me
I
what it's like to
did.
be on the phone, right? Like
They
use
do
your hand as a
this.
phone, right? Or they'll do
They do
this
this.
instead of doing this,
I
because
know. I
this
did
signal
this.
was hang up, right? Like this is the phone. They don't know. A phone is this to me. Hello.
That's
And they're
what
like,
I
no,
do.
hello, hello.
Hello, or they
Yeah.
do this. They were like this, or the other
Hmm.
ones were like this. I'm like, I'm sorry, what the? And I'm like, oh, that
Hello.
makes sense. Us is this, my favorite was I had this conversation with my son actually a few days ago, and I said, kiddo, how do you hold the phone? He's like, I'm like, what?
Hmm.
No, it's like this. He's like, no, mom, this is hanging loose.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's like,
That's true.
nobody does that anymore. He's like, you're old, mom. It's okay.
So you see what we just did there, right? Like in this
Hmm.
conversation, we found connections and we're looking at culture. And like that is what I want to happen. That's what my goal is to encourage people to make the connections. And we don't have to be the same culture. Like you're a woman,
It's
I'm a
true.
man. You're a mom, I'm a dad. You lived where you lived, I've lived where I live. You like what you like. But what we can find is what do we have in common? And also, what is unique about each other? And how do we show love and respect and celebration for those differences? What we just did there is like we're laughing, but it happens organically, right? Like it's
Hmm.
not scripted. And
Yes.
anybody can do what we just did, but you are a gifted facilitator. Your interviewing skills are high. You're comfortable, and this is something you want to do. But this could
Hmm.
happen at a dinner table. This could happen at a date. This could happen waiting in line for the roller coaster. This could happen anywhere. If we would just share, listen, respect, give space, ask good questions, tell funny stories, share our opinions, that kind of stuff.
I love it. And it's what we need more of this. We need more
Exactly.
of you,
Oh,
with
thank you.
your similar backgrounds, with similar training, just so I feel like this is where when people kind of have an understanding for others, I think a lot of conflict and more communication will make a workplace or relationship, or even just relationship, meaning like your spouse, with kids, with friends, coworkers, the list is endless, just to make the anxiety level some people have
Hmm.
just to come down. Because I feel like, especially now with COVID, um,
Absolutely.
and now people are starting to go back to work where they're not used to being in an office with coworkers. They're used to just, okay, I'll see your face on the screen. I don't have to
In
look at you
pajamas.
really.
Yeah,
In
pajamas.
pajama, well, technically, it's half dress and half pajamas, which I will tell you all now is what I'm doing right now. Sorry, guys. This is how I am.
There we go. Let's be
Woohoo!
transparent.
All right. This is
Let's
how
be
you do it,
transparent.
okay? This is how we do it. Because me, I got
Yeah,
to be comfortable. This is
as you
it.
should.
And 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 it's hard because they're saying that people anxiety level are a lot higher,
Hmm.
more now than ever, because
Yeah,
everybody and people want to work more from home. They don't want to go back to work.
yeah.
And also in
Because we
hospitals,
found out we can go work at home. Like the pandemic was like, oh wait, you can get paid to work from home.
it's like, shoot, I'm going home.
You
I'll
want to
see
be
you
at home? What you
guys.
mean?
What meeting we have at like 9 o'clock? Not a problem.
Hmm.
I'll just get half dressed, have my coffee right there, keep my
Right.
slippers on. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I feel like that
That's a
should
good
be
thing that it taught us.
exactly. And now I think I here I'm in Montreal, Quebec. So here what they're doing is people are going back to work, but they're doing like 2 days where they go into the office and they're
The
trying to do
hybrid
a
schedule.
slow exactly. So it's like a slow transition just to get
Everybody does
everybody.
not need to go back to an office. That was a waste of company money. But that's just my opinion.
I personally think that because everywhere in the world, they're saying we don't have enough housing. If people are working from home, can't you convert offices into condos
You
and do low
can.
income housing? I'm just
You
saying it
can.
kind of will solve a lot of problems.
I will vote for that. If you ran for that or put that up, I would vote for that. Because yes, these buildings that we use to sit in front of computers, if we could do that at our house,
Exactly.
yeah. But that's a good question. Like I could ask a question on my profile, or you could ask it on your page. What do y'all think about working from home? And someone's gonna say, I hate it. Tell me why. And someone's gonna say, I think it's the best thing ever. Tell me why.
This is I You're gonna get a lot. It's gonna be a very a very negative, or maybe even some positive. Maybe a lot of people there's people who like going to work. Maybe this is their way of
They miss going to
interacting,
work.
and yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe it's a part of the routine of just getting up, getting ready, going in, you
Getting
know?
out their house and being away from their kids and their spouse. Some people love going to
That
work because it's
too.
like,
Oh
hey
yeah, it's
man,
true.
I don't like being here all the time with y'all. I need to miss y'all sometimes. Yeah.
It's so
But
true.
that idea is actually what I'm doing with the questions. I'm thinking about what do I want to happen? I want
Right.
someone to learn something. I want someone to feel seen or respected or understood. I want people to
Hmm.
laugh. I want like what you just did with the work, like work from home thing, immediately made me think of, oh, I can make a question about that.
You know, I have here someone here wrote Lizzie 0316. I've been
What
forced to
up,
go
Lizzie?
back for 3 days a week, and I hate it. Rough,
Yeah, no, it's tough.
rough.
People been at the house for too long. It's like you want me to do what? Especially people in America. I don't know how it is where you are in Montreal. I live in LA, but in America, there's this thing where people would live further than their job. It wouldn't just be jobs in your community. To get paid or do the work that you wanted to do, you would commute.
Hmm.
Like LA has these stupid freeways and traffic and rush hour, and it's like people would drive hours sometimes or be in traffic for hours
No, here
to go to
too.
work. And it's like,
Here too.
I
Hmm.
don't gotta be in traffic for hours. I can work from the place I actually live in, or maybe find a spot that I could just Wi-Fi it up and plug up. No.
It's like, why not?
Why would I? I don't have to.
It's like, why don't you do a day that you can go in and meet? And what's the best day to go in and meet? Maybe go in on a Saturday morning. If you're going 1 day a month
Yeah,
where there's no traffic,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind driving up and go, okay, yeah, I'll just come get my coffee, sit down, do it for an hour, go visit some friends, kind of make it a
Yeah.
day thing, you know? You could do your thing, come
Now
back
we're
home.
revolutionizing work. Now you're thinking. And I promise you, if you put this up on the internet, I don't know if you're gonna post it like in different places, but
I,
there'll be people who will agree with you. This clip right here is gonna go viral.
you
Because
know
like
what?
Hale said,
I might upload it to YouTube if I can get if I have your permission to do
you
so.
have my permission.
All right, I might
Yeah.
do that because I think you're right because there's a lot of people who are. It's a lot right now, especially there's a lot of anxious feeling about the fourth wave that's coming that people are
Hmm.
not feeling comfortable with. They're getting worried. Oh God, are we going to get shut down again? Our kids are going to be home again. What am I going to
Hmm.
do?
The
Um,
vaccine is a huge thing,
the vaccine's a
right?
huge thing. I mean,
The social
people are,
awkwardness of that.
yes, especially now with the vaccine, because now the first thing people ask, and I kid you guys not, this is online dating, okay? That the first question they ask is, "Have you been vaccinated?" I said, "Yo, like, say hi.
Yeah,
Nice to
that's not a
meet
good
you. How you
icebreaker.
doing?"
It's not a
And
good
I'm getting, "Were
icebreaker.
you vaccinated?" I said, "Listen, it won't matter if I said yes or no. I can see right now we're gonna have issues."
Yeah. If you think that's the question to start with, this isn't gonna work.
It's like,
That's funny.
bye. What is it? What people say? Bye, Felicia. Sorry if
Bye,
there's any
Felicia.
Felicias. Yeah,
No,
sorry if there's any
Felicia is a
Felicias on
character
there.
in the movie Friday. That's what we're talking about. Bye,
Okay, fair
Felicia.
enough.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about real Felicia.
Here's a question I love to ask all my individuals that I interviewed is if you had an opportunity to meet your younger self, what would you tell
Mhm.
him?
That you're the bomb and stop being shy and scared to be the bomb. Just be the bomb. Be the biggest bomb that you could be, bro. That's what I would tell
That
myself.
that's a
Because
good answer.
my mama thought I was the bomb. You know, I might have had some friends that thought I was cool, but I had not come to the place, and I still am not the most self-confident, self-pushing. I think I'm smart. I think I'm a good person, but I'm not like, I am the bomb. Every day I don't wake up like, I am the bomb, and I can do great
Really?
things. I don't think like that
And
every day.
in your videos, you don't portray that at all.
That's because I cut out in the edit. I cut all the shyness out. Like,
And with the filters on.
listen, there's a couple people that I know in real life who are like, man, I wish I could just get up and push record and put up the content. And I'm like, if you look at the old videos at the beginning of this post a video a day, question a day thing, I'm not the
Yeah.
same. I'm a little more, hey, my name is, but now I'm like, giving personality and my body's moving. There's a little bit more swag because it's like
Mhm.
I've done it 263 times. You know what I'm saying?
So
But the
you got the
first
drill
10
for it.
was like, hi, I don't know who's watching. I,
It sounds like my
so
first live on TikTok.
yeah, but
It's like,
like you get confidence through practice, right?
it's
Like
true.
we need to practice. So I don't know what interview number this is that I am, but you've done enough times that you got to this level.
Yo. It's true. It's true. I still remember my very first interview, and one of my good friends who's an actor. I have to, if he's on here, props to you, my brother. You made it. He got into the one of the short film festivals, and they
Mm,
won. So I'm really proud of him.
congratulations to
And
that homie.
yes, and he's like, yeah. He's like, of course I'll do this, no problem, right? He comes on. It was great, and the whole time nobody could see it, but my legs were shaking. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, oh
you
my
have to
god.
do it shaking, but you
Yes,
did it. If you have
I
to do
did
it
it,
nervous,
and
you do it.
yes, and you're right. It is practice because over time, like for you to say that about yourself, I would not even imagine because I was like, he's cool, he's collective, he got this. He's like, uh-oh, he froze.
Switching earpiece. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're moving now. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you the real truth. I have
Okay.
been talking about making content for years. I started YouTube, took all those videos down. Tried it on Instagram, took it down. But I just finally was like, I'm gonna do it even if it's whack, and I'm just gonna get better. And just finally was like, I'm gonna get better.
But that's how you have to do it. You wouldn't believe me, but I started posting on TikTok for the first time last year in and like mid-August. I signed up in April, but I never really posted. It was mostly for my son. My son's like, oh, he got bored of it. So I left it alone. And then I started posting in August. Out of all my family members, I'm the only one who was very private when it came to social media. I was very careful what I posted, when I posted, and who I followed. Very careful. To the
Mm.
point I have two separate accounts, a private and a public. Like sorry.
I feel it though.
I,
The
I
internet is
had
a
to.
scary place. The trolls and
It
the
is. I have to
meanness.
protect
And
I have to protect my family. I got to protect my friends. And so I did two separate ones and I even changed, I use my nickname. Naz is my nickname. And nobody knows my real name, which is really funny because people are trying
I'm
to search
using my
for me.
real name
You brave. You brave. However, people still found me. I don't know how,
because
but
it's the internet.
they found me. One
You
found me
on
in
the internet.
Dollarama. And they're like coming on live saying, yo, Naz, I saw you at Dollarama. You're with your son. I said, what the hell,
Listen,
man? How? I had
if
no
you are,
makeup on. I had a do-rag on. I had everything. How'd you know it was me?
because you are you, and the internet knows more about you than you think the internet knows about you.
That's scary
And powerful. The fact that
and
I never
powerful.
met you in real life and we've met and connected through TikTok and now Instagram and we're talking and all these people who are going to see it live and then later on when we post it or whatever,
Hmm.
that is beautiful. That would not happen without internet. So there's good in
No,
it and then there's some scary in it.
it's
But
true.
I want to focus on the good on it because I like that part.
And please continue. Like I look now to the point that I see when I come on TikTok, your video post is up. It comes up on my For You page, and I'm like, all right. I said, let's see what Robert has
Let
for
me,
all of us today. But I
when we get
personally,
off of this, I'm going to post one. I have a question of the
there you
day
go.
today.
Yes. You know what, all of you ladies, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this, okay? I don't say what Mr. Howard has posted for everybody, okay? I say what does Mr. Howard have posted for myself?
For you.
Okay?
And
For
that's
me,
actually what the
to my
idea
heart.
is. Yeah.
To
No,
my
it's
heart. So
because it's phone to phone, right? Camera to your
right,
phone. When I push
right.
record on my camera, I'm now thinking, how do I want the one person who does care to feel, right? And I didn't know that you were the person, but I'm making it for you. I want you to go,
Right.
hey, hey, Mr. Howard, hey, beloved, or he called me beloved today, or I'm saying it for you. This video, this question is for you. And
This is it.
that's what it is.
Oh, here we got real Miss Kerr. The
Miss
day can't
Care. That's
pass.
Miss Care, the
Miss
homie.
Care. The day can't pass without getting a daily dose of Mr. Yes, girl. Yes. Yes. I
Thank
do
you.
think there's times I do think that I'm like, yes, he's talking to me. And I'm wondering in my mind, I'm like, okay, so he's talking to me. So I'm gonna imagine he's right beside me having a cup of coffee or tea,
Yep.
and we're talking. This is it. And you know what? I have to admit, it does give me a smile on my face because I'm like, it's all in my mind.
Hey, Mr. Howard.
So, it's all in my mind, rent free.
Yeah.
Rent free. This is it. But I have
I
to
learned
admit,
that
though.
from Beyonce. Beyonce had that same kind of thing. Like she had a young interview when she was early in Destiny's Child, and she was like,
Oh,
I'm singing it to whoever is listening. I'm singing it to you. I don't care if you got your last money and bought a ticket at the top of the stadium or in the back of the room. I'm singing this song for you. And
oh, that's a
even
good,
on
yes.
even on an album or a CD, she was
Mm,
singing for that one person. She don't care about who don't like it. She don't care who skips the song and hates her. She's like, I'm not here for you. I'm not here. As a matter of fact, thank you for skipping. I'm here for the people who rock with me and just keep
and who
feeding them.
wants? I like that. I like that mindset. That's a good mindset. I'm definitely gonna take that to
Queen
heart.
B.
And everybody here, use that if you're posting up videos or if you guys are doing videos or
Hmm.
hair makeup or how whatever career or whatever you guys are doing, use that. That's a good tip. Focus on the one person. Don't think of it for everybody. Just it's for you,
Yeah.
whoever you is on
You
social
don't even have to
media
know them
or
personally. You might never meet them. They might even be in a
true.
state or city, but
It's true.
somebody's gonna rock with you because they care about what you care about because you care about it.
Hmm. You need to, but do you have videos posted up right now on YouTube?
I do. Um, I'm starting my YouTube back. I have some videos I haven't posted yet, but
Yay!
I'm getting back to it.
Yes, you guys. So everybody check out, if everybody here take an opportunity and I'm guessing your
All
YouTube,
5 people.
all
Let's get
five.
5
It's okay.
today.
Hey, five is cool.
You better
Me,
do
it
5.
never, five is the best. It was it's fluctuating throughout the whole
Yeah.
interview. So I'm
Everybody
like,
can't
that's
watch
fine.
it at the same time. They're gonna watch it like
No, no, no. They have the
because
whole
I don't.
weekend.
Yeah, I don't. Like
They
if I
have
see
the
people on
whole.
live, I'll pop in and I'll go, oh, I want to see more of that later, but I'm in the grocery store.
No, but there's some that I do. I will watch. There's some that I will put up. I put my phone on my little. I have. You guys are gonna laugh. I have like a little like a juice pitcher, and I put my phone on it so it holds it, and I wash the dishes while I'm watching.
Yeah. No, I have a tripod. I'm using my tripod today, but I'm a
No,
camera nerd.
no, but I have my tripod, everything in my kitchen, in my my bedroom. But the problem is in the kitchen, I got no time to walk to my room, walk back, and then I'm like, what if it gets wet? So I use my little pitcher and I put it in the corner so it doesn't get wet, and I can still see it, and I can watch it. I'm sorry, anybody who's just becoming a video content or whatever, and you're producing, you don't need a tripod and all that if you don't have the money.
Mhm.
Use what you have at home.
As a matter of fact, you
Literally.
should use what you have. Like until you
Exactly.
get
Like
serious and you're sure about this thing, and
automatic. Exactly. Like I use like all my old yearbooks. I put my phone
mhm.
on it,
I've done that
and
too.
that was what. This is how you have to do it. You can't
Mhm.
like nobody has the whole money and the financing because it's expensive. It does build up over time, getting backdrops and ring lights and
Microphones and
microphones.
lenses and
And
all
it's
that.
like endless green screen. Oh my God. Like it,
Mhm.
it does add up over time. Um, are you going to be working on any new segments that will be coming up for the fall?
Mhm. There are some new things I'm posting on TikTok. I'm gonna continue to post on Instagram like Reels. It's just not the same. It's cool, but it's not the
Mm-hmm.
same. So I haven't committed to every day posting those. I post them when I post them. Um, but on TikTok, I'm gonna continue doing the question of the day until I don't have any more, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I can run out because I have a million trillion questions.
You can't run out of
I'm doing
questions.
the couples questions, which is like for couples to take the 3 questions that I post or share and have their own
Hmm.
conversations. And then there's questions for singles. And then there's this other couple things that I'm gonna keep doing. Yeah, some
It's
stuff
like
for
couple for
singles Yeah, it's a couple
which I've been
percent rule.
doing,
Yeah.
which I can't do. Oh, here's a question for Pip. Was it Pip Chaser Tone underscore Tone? Have you ventured into Clubhouse yet?
Yeah, I'm on Clubhouse, the same username.
Okay.
I was heavy on Clubhouse for a while, but I'm
Ooh,
gonna tell you, it drove me crazy because not
how so?
everybody's room was facilitated or moderated by a person that has the skill set. So it was almost like if you're a chef and you go to a restaurant and you're like, something off about this. You know the chef ain't doing what you would do. So
Hmm.
being in someone's room, having a good topic or having a good audience, I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. I know it's gotta, but I can't. I gotta go. So I stopped. But I have gone
Oh
back to
man.
TikTok, but I've
Okay.
told people on my Instagram, I'm going to have a conversation on Clubhouse, and this is for us to talk together. So I've used
Okay.
Clubhouse like that, where I would talk live with audio.
Hmm. But see, this is good. I've been on Clubhouse a few times. Clubhouse is a bit I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a lot. Especially with the whole, okay, I'm done speaking and you turn off the mic. And I'm like, this is very odd. I really like if it was a collaboration of conversation, right?
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because I feel
Well,
like it's really
yeah.
robotic in that section. So,
Yes, and you can have a small conversation, but you can also have like 100 people on stage, and everyone's like, I want to piggyback off of that. I'm like, if you don't get the piggy, bro, ma'am, stop piggybacking. That person made a point. Let it go.
yeah, I have a friend of mine who does mind body learning, mind body soul connection learning, being more in tune with how everything works.
Mm.
And he always invites me as a moderator to come on for a lot of the topics to help, you know, just kind of get the conversation going. And I loved it, but there are some very different conversations. I think there's some that was very enlightening and very I loved it, and there were others that was very um there was just one guy that just kept talking the whole time. And I was like, okay, I thought this was kind of where we're bouncing ideas off each other. What's happening, right? To the point that I really
Yeah,
enjoyed the conversation, and then I had to leave because I was like, I can't stay on for this long. This is taking too long. It's like 2 hours, and I'm like, no, I gotta go. I gotta go to bed. I got
remember
work
we
the
talked
next
about the
day.
capacity of the cup. I don't have the capacity to
Ex-
be on Clubhouse for a long time.
exactly. So we got another question from Pip Chaser Tone. How did you draw in the audience that you have now? Which platforms do you mainly use to advertise yourself?
I use TikTok to get them to Instagram. My goal was, let me see how many folks I could find that are rocking with me on TikTok because I knew TikTok's algorithm would find
Hmm.
new people who don't know me personally.
Hmm.
Um, so for my TikTok audience, I was like, I want those people who care about whatever to go to my website, to maybe join me on LinkedIn, maybe join me on Facebook or Twitter, or listen to my podcast, or download the kids' music, or buy a shirt or a hat or something. But
Hmm.
TikTok was the freeway that was going to take me in all these different places.
Right. Right.
Um, the way that I drew that out, though, like the tools that I was using, was I'm going to talk to anyone, but I'm specifically keeping in mind there's a certain kind of person who will engage with my content. And it's most likely a woman of color, a woman of these ages. Maybe she's a
Hmm.
mom. Maybe she loves kids. Maybe she's educated. She might be a little ratchet, but she's not all the way ratchet. She's like she's like she's a lot of things. She might do
He's just a little. All right, continue. Sorry. That kid,
she might do
a
yoga,
little
but
ratchet.
she might be
All
like,
right.
I'm trying to get my Meg knees, like
The bad knees. That's the worst shirt I ever seen.
Listen, some people had to realize they had to sit down. Like your knees is not built for that. Sit yourself down now.
Exactly.
So my audience in my mind is I'm making it
Hmm.
for whoever. I'm making it for male and women, young and old. But who do
Right.
I think is more likely to rock with me? Is most likely a woman
Hmm.
who's like in the kitchen or sitting in traffic or bored at her desk, or like those are most like people who are not going to swipe by or might double tap after listening or might engage in the comments. And from there,
Right.
other people will come. Almost like if I was going to have a party, I want to invite the ladies, and because the
Right.
ladies are there, the fellas come because they want to go where the ladies are. So I focused on
Damn,
that
that's so true
mentality.
though. It's true. It's true. We gotta follow up. So you do only post by Pip Chaser underscore tone.
Mhm.
So do you only post business, or does your TikTok will show people the true you?
The
That's a good
TikTok
question.
shows me one part of me. It's
Mm-hmm.
me in my facilitator role. I've done a couple vloggy TikToks, like a minute long day in the life of, or, my thoughts on this. I answer my own questions, so you get to see or hear me and my thoughts or my answer to the good questions. So it's not just you guys answering. But my
Right.
YouTube and my Instagram is kind of like a more of a peak of who I am. Because if you put everything on one place, then they won't go to other places.
Right.
Yeah.
The real Miss Kerr. What is your
Real Miss
favorite thing
Care.
about
Her name
Care?
is Care.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's all good.
Care. What is your favorite thing about being a facilitator, and how has social media helped or hindered your purpose?
Amazing question.
Hmm.
Um, my favorite thing about being a facilitator is watching the wheels turn in people's heads. Like they go, "Oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I never saw it that way." I like that. That shit feels like a superpower. I'll be like, "Look at you thinking," or "Look at you feeling." Like that feels good. It feels great. Um, I like watching things change. So like people walk in a room feeling uncomfortable and they walk out like best friends. Like, "Oh my God, I love you. You're my best friend." I love watching the change. That's some of my favorite stuff. How has social media helped or hindered?
Hmm.
Social media has helped a lot. Um, I've gotten a lot of money and opportunities because people have found something from social media that a
Right.
business card or email would not do. It has allowed me to show and tell my story and reveal elements of who I am or who I'm striving to be and what I believe in. How is it hindered? It's so quick. The hey, how much time are people paying attention is not as
Mm.
much. If they were in the same room with me, it's easy for me to knock it out. One of the homies
Right.
just walked in the room. What's up, Rome? He's seen me facilitate in real life, like where people physically are in the same room with me. Trying to figure out how to be that dynamic on the internet has taken years for me because I was scared to try because I didn't want to be on the camera. I wanted to be behind the camera and I
Right.
wanted to do real things in real life because the internet is weird and scary. And I had that thought in my head.
Yes.
And so I said, "That's
Hmm.
a stupid thought, Rob. Get that out of your head. Let's go." And now I'm
Rip it
working
off.
on it.
Rip it off.
Yeah, I'm
You
working on it. I'm working on being a little bit more of myself. I'm showing who I am and how I feel and bringing my full self, speaking with
Hmm.
my full voice. I'm still working on it, but it's doing better.
Yay. And you do know that because winter, fall. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. You guys have snow over there? LA? No,
In
right?
LA, I don't have a jacket, so the answer is no. I have
Okay,
snow
so,
boots, but not because of my house.
well, then you're missing out. Montreal, right now we're entering into fall, so already the leaves are starting to change colors, and we usually get snow around November, sometimes end of October, but it's usually November. And this is the time where this is where they call cuffing seasons. Everybody, if you guys know what that is, please read about it. It's very interesting. I just learned about
Read
this a few
about
months
cuffing
ago.
season.
Yeah. Read about it. If you guys are not too sure, there is a the love relationship panel that I do with RJ, which is on my IGTV, where you guys could check it out, but where we describe and explain what cuffing season is.
Mm.
It's where people start finding a partner now, where there's shack up with them for the entire winter,
And then
and then
break up
usually,
when it warms
and
up.
they right if but there's a problem. Usually there's a baby that comes out of it. So why I'm saying this, because in Alaska apparently they do this, and usually a baby comes out of it in the
Yeah,
spring.
I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Keep being warm with each other. Something gonna happen.
Yes. So, but this is also the time where a lot of people will probably be on social media a lot more than normal because you can't really do much. And
Yeah.
plus, I don't know what temperatures like any for anybody different parts of the world, But in Montreal, we usually get it as cold as minus 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know how that is in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty cold, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
For you.
y'all got that. I'll stay in my hoochie shorts and my flip flops and my t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm gonna move from that. I'm already
Yeah.
feeling depressed. I'm like,
Like
I
you
like,
see the palm trees. This is real. That's what LA is. You can't have palm trees in the snow.
you know
It's
what?
not
But
gonna
I
work.
like fall. I like fall because fall it's like you can wear a sweater, and I can have a nice little scarf. I can put my little hat on. I'm cool. But winter, you have to do layers, and
That's a good
sometimes I
question.
forget how many layers I do. I don't know if
A
it's
good
two or
question you can
three.
make from that, right? 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
looking at you tell the story and smile. Which season fashion do you like the most or do you like the best? Like that kind of question will get the smiley face and the, ooh, let me tell you. Now, for me, living in LA with these thighs, it's going to be summer. I'm trying to,
With this-
you know what I mean?
Me, but here's the thing though. Okay, Robert, here's the thing. I actually get hives and rashes from the sun. So
That
I
ain't your
have to wear
season.
UV things on my arms that goes under my shirts. So I'm always wearing long sleeves, long tops, and long pants, which are very thin material, which is breathable. And then I also have a hat or I carry an umbrella. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, fall
So
and winter makes sense for you. For me, I don't got no jackets in my closet. I got some hoodies. They're nice. These hoochie shorts that I got in my drawer, I got a nice collection.
Okay, I see. I see. Okay, fair enough. You're Lizzie. It's thigh season. Yes, apparently it's thigh season. All
Yeah.
day, every day, 365 days a year.
hmm
I like that.
It might rain like 7 times. Like,
If I rain, wow. But see, I grew up in the West Coast. I grew up in Vancouver, so rain. I don't mind rain. I like rain. Rain's my favorite. I don't mind rain at all.
no, thank you.
But I can't. I can't deal with
Oh yeah,
40
Bay
minus
Area.
40.
Shout out to the Bay Area, uh, Oakland, Richmond, all that.
You grew up in BC? You went up to BC?
I never went that far, but when I hear the Bay, I think of like the Bay Area, Oakland, Sac, kind of in the area of Northern California,
Hmm.
Richmond, Vallejo, all those cool spots up there.
Oh, everyone's saying it. Okay. One last question. What is the top three advice when it comes to how to communicate with someone?
Mm. Um, First thing I would say is to speak to be heard, right? Like
Hmm.
use your
That's a good
voice
one.
um,
Hmm.
in a way that's not like small and shrinking, but also not too
Hmm.
loud and like push. You want to be
Right.
received well. So use your voice in a way to be heard. That's the first important part. The second
Hmm.
important part, I think, is to pay a compliment or ask a question. I'm gonna make a TikTok about this one actually next week. But the easiest way to start a conversation is to pay a compliment, ask a question, or make an observation. I was in Target the other day. There was a young lady. She had tattoos on her arms.
Hmm.
She she was kind of awkwardly standing. I could tell something was off. So in my mind, I'm like, she's about to have maybe a girl night because she had vodka, wine, and Sprite. I don't drink, but I know that that means something. So I said to
I don't
her,
drink. I don't drink either, but that sounds like a girls' night party for sure.
so I said to
Okay.
her,
Right.
I said, nice tattoos. And one of her tattoos on her arm was a character. And I was like, do you like scary movies? Because it was a scary movie character. And she was like, oh, I
Okay.
love scary movies. And I said, I'm too scared for those. I shared real quick. And then I said, how are you? And she said, it's been a long week, right?
Mm,
And I was
she's
like, yeah,
opening up.
and I said, I see. It's about to get lit,
Hmm.
right? So I made an observation that I am paying attention. And
Hmm.
it wasn't to holler. I literally don't even know her name. We just started a conversation in the line until we both left. But it's to pay a compliment, make an observation, ask a question.
I like that. It's like simple. It's very simple.
Yep.
Definitely, I'm going to try this out for this weekend for
It takes
work. Let's
practice,
see.
and if it doesn't work, keep practicing.
This is it. Exactly. This is it. It's like riding a bike, right? You
Yep.
got to fall down how many times before you figure it out how to ride a bike?
Yeah.
Okay, this is perfect. Thank you again so much, Robert. I appreciate that you took the time to come on NazTalk. It was an honor, and I learned so much. I hope everybody here learned a lot too. Do
I'm
not
gonna
worry.
repost this. If you send me this file, we'll talk in the DM and all that fun stuff. If you send this
Of
file, I'll
course.
repost it. I think you did a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. But you did awesome as well. Like I think this is one of the best interviews I ever did because it was so calm. And I like when things are
The knee
calm.
wasn't shaking?
No, 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 not this time.
Good.
Not this time. But it's funny though, because a lot of people don't realize that like social media is not my thing. I will never go on camera. I'll never do any of that. I stay away from. I had to do a modeling thing for a friend because one of her models got sick. I literally almost peed in my pants because I was so nervous. And I'm like,
That
I
might
can't
happen.
do this.
But you
I was
did
like,
it
I
anyway.
can't do this. I did it anyways because to help her out. And they're like, you should be doing modeling. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm the one who takes the pictures. I'm not the one
Yeah,
in front of the camera. That's not how it works for me. But but
I
again,
hear
thank you
you.
so much. Again,
Thank you.
Robert Howard, you guys. If you guys have any questions or whatnot, just leave a message in the comments. I don't
Yeah.
think he'll mind if you DM him. Do
No,
you
hit me.
mind?
No, I
Okay, you
answer
got.
DMs. It's not like a bunch of people follow me, so it's cool. On TikTok, that's different.
TikTok, you're blooming.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
booming on TikTok.
you're blooming. You're booming. You're everything on TikTok. You're gonna get there. Trust me. I feel it in my soul. Like you're gonna be like the next big thing on TikTok. It's coming.
Hey, I'm gonna take it. I believe you when you say it.
This is it. Just remember the little people. So if I ask
No,
you to come back for an
I'm
interview,
gonna invite you. I'm gonna invite you on mine at that point. Yeah.
yay! Also, you know what? For that, when that happens, I will fly down to LA. I'll come down. You can show me the hood.
So
I'm
don't
like, what's
forget. Yeah,
happening?
yeah. I'm over here. I'm in Inglewood. I'm on the west side. You know what I mean? Crenshaw, Slauson. Come on. I'm gonna show you around.
Yes. Thank you again, Robert. You guys, Robert Howard, communication coach. He does the question a day, a series of question on TikTok and Instagram. Check it out. Conflict mediator. There's a whole list of things that this man does, and he's awesome. He's
Thank you
awesome.
so
And if
much.
you guys have questions, you guys can leave a comment in the IGTV. You guys can also DM him, as well as any links or any other information. He will pass it to me. I'll post it in the IGTV, but also we'll give him the link so he'll have a copy of it as well.
Yay.
And if any of you guys are coming in late, sorry, you guys. We will see you next Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do not worry because the IGTV gets saved so you guys can rewind forward, not like the old school VHS version, but more of you
Right.
could
You can
just
drag the finger.
you could just drag it.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Robert. I hope you have a beautiful Friday night and a beautiful weekend, especially with your family. And
Thank you.
everybody, we will see you next week where I'll have another individual that's fantastic with his story as well. And you
Yeah.
guys take it easy. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.